7.
We started out laughing, man.
We are here, man. Lucky number 7. This is that's my favorite number on the show. 7. I mean, born in the 7th month, whatever. But I got so many 7 stories. My license plate straight 7s. So many other 7 moments, man. So,
was that on purpose or was that
what? No, they give you a tag. That's random.
Well, you can get your like.
No, I got it sent in, and I told Mom I was going to change it to Georgia State. I was going to change the Georgia State plates. I was like, Mom, if this license plate isn't special, I'm changing it. I'm going to pay that extra $95. I opened it up, straight 7s.
Oh wow.
And Mommy was like, boy, you got straight 7s. It's like I won the lottery spiritually.
Yeah.
Crazy. So welcome to Honesty on the Table.
Yes, sir.
Our mission is to cultivate a space where transparency and vulnerability, humble curiosity serve as our healthy roots for individual and collective progress. Episode 7, fellas. Fellas, self-awareness is key. Let's do this check-in. Let's get to it, man. How are y'all feeling? Y'all just go.
It always be like that. It's always like, okay, is it Mike speaking first or is it me? Marlo never speaks first.
Let's go Marlo first, bro. Speak first.
Yeah, you never do.
I do. Bro.
How you doing, man? Talk to us, man. How was your week, man? How's your mindset?
Per usual. Our week was good. Chilling. I'm a little tired. Me and Mike was out at the cigar lounge last night.
Which one you went to?
We went to
far
one
as
in
fuck.
Snellville, far as hell.
Yeah, that was close to me.
I thought y'all
That's
was
close to
close
me.
to
Where you
Right. I could have took I-78.
Yeah, right there. Bro.
I
It was like
seen
10,
y'all.
15 minutes from me.
I would have seen
You
you.
said you was tired, bro.
I was tired. And the craziest thing, bro, I didn't go to sleep till about 3. So
It's always like that. It's always like that.
I was like, I could have been there, bro. I could have been there, trying to fake smoke the hookah with you.
Yeah. You could have a cigar or something. I don't know what you gonna do. But other than that, my week is good. I'm chilling. No complaints, man. Hustling, the usual.
The usual. Yeah, same here. Nothing but good vibes, good energy this week. We on the move right now. I think the energy has been real high going into this quarter over here. So I'm excited about that.
What's up, brother? Shit. My week has been alright. You know, like the definition of alright. You know what I'm saying? Like
I with that A or with that I.
with the I.
No, I think it's more with the apostrophe.
Yeah, I said you know, I had my good days. You know, I've actually been off all week. Thank God. I had to take a week off, bro. I needed just time to myself, man.
Bro,
It's important, bro. Like self, bro. Time to yourself is so important. You know, one thing I do, like every time I get paid, I can take myself out to dinner. Like take myself out to dinner. Sure. Go somewhere new by myself. Just for me to get my thoughts together, like to, you know, it's a little cheaper too. Okay, but
That the movies for sure.
yeah, like you know what I'm saying. Like I think that's very important, bro. Like real talk. Everybody who's following, everybody who's listening, self care. Do something for yourself. It don't gotta be just taking yourself out. You know, go get that facial, girl. You know what I'm saying? Bros, go get them feet done, dog. Come on, man. Get them dogs tamed.
No, that's real.
Yo, man, I had a good week myself. Yeah, man, you know, school, man, it's a funny thing, man. It's so political. And I'm just trying to figure out who it is, what kind of man I'm becoming as I'm stepping into this program because I'm still in my first year. So, you know, I really try to take it one day at a time. Pace myself, really get down to make sure like my core, my integrity is like still intact. When you're being challenged by, you know, systems, concepts, theories, coming from people's mouths and shit like that, things you learn about your history, how things are going and function in this current society you live in, what part you play in that, what part you perpetuate the negative, what part you actually combat the negative in your own behavior, character, engagement in this life. Like thinking about that shit every single day is like, it can wear on you, especially when you being black, a man. We talked about this last episode. Like it weighs on you sometimes because you want to make the right decisions. You want to lead that legacy you always dreamed of, but it comes down to you having to have your head on a swivel and be adaptable. Learn when to give in, but not give up or sacrifice yourself, your whole soul. But just learning when to be a little more compromised with yourself and make those adjustments on the fly. Like, it's so much more than just going to school. It's so much more than just getting some books, man. Reading books and getting those letters behind your name. Like, you actually are investing a lot of yourself, a lot of your spirit, a lot of your energy. So, you know, this week was a good week because it's another week forward, another week closer to that second year. I know I'm rambling.
Like you've been holding that in all semester.
I felt like
that was like
you're thinking about that shit.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
It's
For real,
something
man,
coming.
because I want to be great in this life, man. I want to be great. I know it. And I know the way in which I think, the way in which I talk, the way in which I practice, the way in which I train, the way in which I engage in my own form of self-care. Like, I really felt that when you said that. Like, me being first generation, you know, nobody in my family went to college, whatever like that, to graduate. So it was a lot on me. And so when I finished my last exam, I went to Landmark Diner, treated myself to some breakfast.
That shit was good. My first toast.
man.
I went to Landmark Diner on the corner, open 24 hours, and I treated myself to breakfast that morning when I knew I was going to graduate. 2 degrees, I was going to graduate. And NYU, like, I remember when I was doing the all-nighters, niggas was down there till 2 a.m. It was 24 hours during finals. But I was there all morning. I was there from 6 p.m. to 5:45 a.m. working on 2 20-page papers to finish a final that I knew was the last steps to confirm that I'm going to get my master's. And I stepped outside. It was a cool night. It was a cool morning. And I was the only one on the corner. And this is in Greenwich Village in New York. So it felt like I was stepping out of a movie, like I was in a movie scene. And next thing you know, Starbucks opened. I saw the light flash open. I was like, I'm about to go over there and get myself. I don't eat Starbucks. I don't drink Starbucks for real. So I really had to figure out what the hell I'm going to eat. But I wanted to treat myself for me putting in those 13, 14 hours of cranking out 2 papers. I knew I should have prepped for weeks in advance, but you know how that goes. So self-care is everything, man. For real. Take care of yourself. You love yourself. Please do God a favor and take care of yourself. That's the point too. When you're in this life, you're not supposed to just produce, work. You're also to care. You're also there to care. And you're doing that for yourself first before you do anything else for anyone else. You have to check in with yourself. That's getting more connected to God.
Why you do that, man?
Like, for real.
Fuck I do. I don't know what this man's talking about. Holy shit.
I mean, you
Where's my?
I was going in.
Hey, but you meant that shit, bro.
Yo, I was like,
Y'all felt it though?
yes. That was some shit, bro.
Stop, like, get me emotional.
Nah,
for real,
bro.
For real. Because it's like, yo, God created you, man.
Oh, man.
So when Ye be talking about, yo, I'm a God, it's like, I'm not, he said, what was the part of I am a God, even though I'm a man of God? Something, what was that line? And I was like, that's what he was meaning when he said he's a God. Mm-hmm. He was saying that because God created me in his image, mm-hmm. I am one of God. Mm-hmm. We all say we are part of the flesh. Mm-hmm.
Right.
So that's why now what I love about some black entertainers like Jay-Z, you know, Conway the Machine, like there's some rappers out there that have a conversation about a black man turning king and then from king to God. So it's like, when you find, that's why I say, it's the God in me. Like, for real, you got to check in with yourself.
Yeah.
I'm serious. Those were the answers are. Those are where the answers are. So that's how my week was. It was another step forward. Like, I'm figuring this shit out. I'm understanding and trusting myself and trusting my identity here. That, like, not many sociologists go on platforms like this regularly and get their shit off. They gotta be all buttoned up and shit, and white shoe law firms and shit like that. Mm-hmm. They can't really get their shit off. That's why they go to alcohol. That's why they delve in other vices to get their shit off, because they can't get it off anywhere else. They feel like they gotta be buttoned up and shit. And I'm stepping into something like that as an ivory tower, yo.
Let's get it.
Like, that shit can break you. That shit can break you down.
Let's get it. Gotta be hype, bro.
That shit can break you down, man. So fuck that, man. Express yourself.
Right.
Yeah.
That truth you have is there for a reason. Don't play yourself. People out here confused because they questioning what's there for them. Because they want to look outside of themselves and question what's inside. Stop doing that. You'll save yourself some time. I'm sorry. Trials will triumph, yo. Let's break bread.
Let's break bread.
Let's break bread.
I have one, bro.
That's it.
I try to
I need one of them sensitive names, man.
I've never seen this man laugh. I've never seen this man laugh hard like this
Bro,
in my life.
bro, I always do that when you go on your rest, bro. You don't be on the phone, bro. I always do that, bro. I be feeling you though, bro.
I felt it too, bro.
I be feeling you, bro.
That's what's gonna make me powerful out here. I haven't figured it out. I have not figured it out. I don't know how I'm gonna lead this mission.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm gonna be like a Tony Robbins type. I don't know if I'm gonna be whoever, but I just feel like the energy I kick off with the sociological mind and just the thoroughness, bro, that this podcast has allowed me to do. I appreciate y'all for that, man.
For sure, bro. Crazy.
Because damn, yo, we have barely any outlets to really get this shit off. So we ain't just another fucking podcast.
That part.
For sure. Yo, me being your best friend, bro. I know when you cooking up, bro. That's why I started laughing. I said, "Oh yeah, it's it right there." I almost crossed my feet on you, bro. I was like, "Yep, yes, sir." But let's break bread. So we left off discussing business credit and all that. I left you guys off with retail cards. And next, your next step would be basically the fleet cards. These are your commonly referred as fuel gas or business gas cards. It can help you control costs in ways other payments can't, ensuring that the money that you spent is only for fuel or company vehicles. So local examples for here in Atlanta would be like a BP, Shell, Quick Trip, Racetrack, Exxon, Bolero, you name it, bro. Sam's Club. Most places, if they got gas, they typically got a gas card. So that's going to be the tip for today. You got like
The Kroger got gas card?
I don't know if Kroger got a gas card. I believe that.
That would be the best gas card.
I definitely get my gas from Kroger.
I mean, I definitely get it too, but like, do they have a gas card?
I go to Sam's because it's cheapest. It's the cheapest on the block.
Then Kroger?
BJ's.
Well, you can say 30 cents, nigga?
How much you pay for premium right now?
That's a lot, bro.
Per gallon, how much? How much?
Shit, I think like four or something. 450.
You at Kroger, $4.50.
Might got a BMW.
Yeah.
At Kroger, $4.50.
Yeah.
M3.
At Kroger, $4.50, right? I just did $4.07 premium, and you know I got the Audi, so premium at Sam's $4.07.
I mean, that's not bad. I didn't.
It's always like 40
The last discussion, Mike
cents.
don't want to wait in that line, so he gonna go.
Get up early, man.
Get up early. Yo. Early to get gasoline?
Do you want to save money?
Bro, I'm getting a Tesla, bro.
Do you?
I'm giving that
if you want to save money, if you want to save money, I'm just saying.
I'm giving that gas shit up.
You gotta make certain concessions.
So you have a car. Like what type of car?
I have a BMW.
Okay, BMW.
You got an Audi.
Okay, yeah. I have a Honda. So that's I don't even and I
You smart, bro.
You're
yeah.
very smart, bro. Congratulations on that.
Yeah,
It's your BMW.
Yeah, you'll be a W too, man.
I was like, y'all was talking about premium. I was looking. I was confused.
What is that?
They're premium.
Tell you 407 at Sam's.
All right.
You on the east side, let me know. I'll be just like one of them niggas be doing. I'll pull up right behind you, whatever, let you swipe the card, you going about your business.
Oh, damn. Well, nigga, let me know.
You gonna have to
Right.
Are you going over to Stone Mountain?
I saw some over too.
I bet. I'll go and swipe my Sam's card. You go in there and you save 40 cents, man. Whatever we gotta do to make sure we save money out here, just make it happen.
For sure.
Shit, man, ain't no.
That's a good financial.
Or get your money up and don't even worry about it.
I ain't worried about that shit.
Oh yeah.
Or just get your fuel card and nigga swipe up.
Swipe
And worry about that shit at the end of the month.
Right. That's why.
Because you know, it's not even the fact that gas is just high. It's just when you need it, you like, damn. Like I gotta spend. I
gotta
need,
budget.
I gotta budget out.
That. You gotta budget against
and
that.
And it just like, damn, I need that shit though. But a finesse though. I've been doing this shit for about 3-4 years. But a finesse. You go to Quick Trip or like Racetrack mainly. You hit the enter and type in your zip code. It's only gonna pin $1 on your on your card.
And then you lock your card, right?
No, I don't like your card. It only paying $1 on your card, and you can fill up your whole tank.
Right.
And then like 3-4 days later, then they take the whole amount out. Finesse. Quick Trip and Racetrack. That's the only ones I know right now.
Wait,
What happened?
So you know how you go? You put in your card. Beep. Right? Then it'd be like enter PIN or press enter. And when you press enter, it's gonna ask you for your zip code. So you just type in your zip code.
It's credit.
It's gonna run it as credit. So when it runs as credit, it's only gonna charge you $1 initially, and then they give you a 2 to 3 day span to actually either get the bread or spend on something else. Then you can, you know what I'm saying? It just give you more time to cycle back the bread in order to pay for the gas later on. But you can get that full tank for $1. And so if you know, and I know this because I'm military, we only get paid on the first 15. So sometimes that drag after the first of the month to the 15th, I'm like, damn, bro, I need gas. It's the 12th. I ain't gonna get that check until 2 days later. I ain't going in my savings. Credit. And that bitch come out on time every time, bro. When that check hit. Because when we get paid from the military, we get paid like 3-4 o'clock in the morning because I work nights, so I know. I get that alert. I'm like, boop. Cool. Then maybe that later on in the afternoon, like between 9 and 12 o'clock, then the gas come out. And I've been on the full tank for 2 to 3 days, bro.
That's a good joke.
But yeah, that's the joke though. That's the joke. Quick Trip and Racetrack.
For legal purposes, we're gonna say that's something that we heard that goes down. We haven't particularly partaken in any of these practices.
You say?
I'm just
ain't that legal? I get it. It was just a loophole. That's all. They gonna get their money. We're just buying you time.
He found a loophole.
Yeah, I'm not engaging in anything fraudulent.
Yeah. Try that out.
With the debit card. Yeah.
Any card. Yeah. But debit card is cool.
Because it takes it out like automatically.
Yeah, if you do debit, yeah, but just when you use your debit card, just press enter or skip or whatever, type in your zip code, and then boom.
Yeah, when you said PIN, I'm like, okay, that sounds like debit. So
yeah. Type in your zip code, you pay in $1.
Word.
You got about 2-3 days. Figure it out. That's that health. Yeah. What you got, bro?
health. What time's coming up soon, bro? Summertime? Y'all ready? Miami, Cali. Y'all going anywhere freaky this summer?
I don't know yet, bro.
I'm going
Jamaica.
Yeah.
That's freaky.
Okay. Jamaica's cool.
Where you sliding to, bro? Probably going somewhere with one of your lady friends, bro.
That was pre-production and we discussed that. See, every time. He ain't killing you, He ain't doing no favors. I ain't doing no favors.
Mike just throwing you to the wolves, man. He was just throwing you.
Bro, he's using you. His people, bro, they know they play.
This episode 7, man. They know a lot about the lives about this point.
Slow motion, cruise control, man. Cruise control. Yeah.
With the twist pinion, brother.
Twist pinion.
Copy that.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm going to Florida. At the top of the summer, I got I don't know if I have summer classes yet, so my summer's split in half. So I think towards the later end of the summer, I'm thinking about going on like a family trip with my girl's family, whatever. But the top of the summer, Florida, Fort Lauderdale, and then in August, Cancun. I've never been to Cancun. I've been.
You doing a birthday trip, bro?
It's around that time.
You going with your girl?
Yeah.
Okay.
Are you?
We're doing something for our 30th.
What about Carnival?
Okay.
Bro?
We're doing something for our 30th.
What about Carnival?
Like,
Carvana. What about Carvana?
Carvana?
Yeah.
You the only one vaccinated, bro. That shit did.
Huh?
You the only one vaccinated. Unless Canada let down their mandates, bro. That shit did.
Yeah, you gonna mess around, be stuck there.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry, man.
Yeah, man.
all right, so what was the next part of health? Yeah, we in the zone.
Yo, hell, I was saying that because summertime's coming up, right? We're trying to manage our weight, trying to get these bodies right. You know what I'm saying? I know I personally been in the gym.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we did until Jalen, he out here trying to show the guns out. So I'm gonna give you guys the best weight loss tips that you need to know. Manage your hunger, all right? It's very important, right? Watch what the fuck you eat. You know, don't eat nothing crazy, you know, just because you're hungry. They say that high protein, high fiber meal plans are the best for controlling your hunger and appetite, just because that's just going to, you know, have your body trying to eat off all that fucking food that you just ate.
Yo, you shouldn't take.
Don't eat a carbohydrate unless it has fiber attached to it. Fiber, right? What's a good source of fiber? I eat Raisin Bran. I know that's a old ass.
Raisin Bran Crunch.
Yes, excuse me. Right, Raisin Bran Crunch.
I don't have the patience with cereal anymore.
The patience?
What?
No,
You're talking about the time that it takes for the milk to
It's
get
just,
to.
you know what's crazy? I make myself a sausage egg sandwich every day.
Yeah.
And that's more work than making cereal.
Sausage and egg sandwich?
Yes, with English muffin.
You doing all that? And you say cereal's work, nigga?
The chicken sausage?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Chicken sausage, yeah. Sometimes turkey.
Make sure it wasn't that swine.
But look. It's just like, I don't know, for some reason it's like, okay, will cereal satisfy me like nutritiously?
Yeah.
Like, no, it's just like, okay, I'm eating carbohydrates and fiber, but it's like, where's the protein at? Where's the this? Where's that? You're getting that from milk. But that's if you're drinking whole milk, and then you shouldn't be drinking that.
Not necessarily.
So where are you getting your proteins
Not
from?
necessarily true. Oat milk has good protein, pea protein, milk.
But to me, I feel like I like something warm too. So it's like, I like something to fill me, but it be under like 300 calories. That's what it is. That's what the sandwich is. Like under 300 calories, it's filling, low sodium, and I get my proteins and I'm good. But it seems like cereal is like, it's cool, but I feel like I'll be hungry like an hour later. Like it didn't do anything for me. It didn't fulfill me. So it's like, okay, it feels like more of a snack than an actual breakfast. That's why people always have orange juice and water next to it, because they need something to fill them up, because cereal just doesn't do enough. That's why I say cereal is just, I have to be in the mood for it.
Bro, whoever fucking drinks orange juice after they eat cereal.
With toast and whatever
It's
like
disgusting.
that. No, but you see it. You see it like on, you know what I'm
Is that
saying,
not
movies
crazy?
and shows.
Commercials and shit. Yeah. But
Shows, there's always like some form of bread though. There's always something else that
This
helps
is a
with it.
filler. It's a filler.
But cereal just by itself is like,
Well, we ain't getting no cereal sponsors, bro. Damn, Jalen.
I want a bigger bowl.
Yeah, nigga. You gotta get that Friday bowl, bro. Like,
Get a bigger bowl, bro. You gotta get the deep bowl, bro. Not a bowl you can just hold like this, bro. You need the deep. You put your fist in that bitch.
Alright.
Okay, cool.
so yes.
that's a lot of crunch and chewing.
Going back to the
Exactly.
fiber, y'all.
All right, you'll get right. And drink your milk, bro.
Yeah, but that's why I said
I just have to
like.
be in the mood for it. So
Okay, all right, but back to that
sausage
fiber.
egg sandwich.
All right, fiber. It helps improve blood sugar control, helps lower your cholesterol, and reduces your risk of chronic diseases like diabetes, which is a very, 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 very big problem within our community. You know, I know. I mean, everybody got family members that have diabetes, and you know, we have to get out of that mindset that shit is hereditary. Like that shit's all based upon what you eat and how you take care of your body. So make sure you get that fiber so you can shit all of it out. All right. You gotta shit them toxins out, bro.
You know how many stools per day is recommended, or is considered healthy? Or just once or twice?
I believe it's twice a day.
I go to.
I try to go I try to go about 3 times a day, but I average 2 for sure. 1 in the morning for some every reason, and then
That's how it should be.
like I don't know what that one just surprised me.
You're burning calories and you're processing while you sleep.
Yeah.
So when you get up in the morning and you have fresh drinking water, or the toothpaste it touches your tongue, it activates your hunger system, your digestive system. So that's when your body will really click, and next thing you know, you should be going either right then or before, or at least 15 minutes after.
Bro, you know something odd that I just never understood? 2 things. Fuck that. Listen, this is some shit I got on my chest, sorry. For real.
We ain't even get to the main, yo.
Why is it that when you have to use the bathroom, right? Like, let's call it you got to piss, right? You holding that shit strong, bro. Like, you about to get home, but as soon as like you hit your threshold of your door, or like you see the toilet, your body's like, fuck it, bro, I'm coming out. Like, do y'all never get that feeling, bro, where it's like uncontrollable at that point, where it's like, bro, I gotta like get my shit off.
It was me this morning. Is
that not crazy that the body does that? But like, it'll be strong as fuck, but when it visually sees that toilet, it's like, nah, fuck you, bro. Like, I'm letting this shit out. Like,
And at that point, you got to squeeze the shit until you even get your hands down. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. That's
why was that on my mind? I don't know, guys.
Pray to God, the toilet
But
seat
that
is not
shit
up.
would irk you,
Yo,
bro.
get in the toilet seat up. You get in the toilet seat up and you hold your shit before, because you don't want to get nothing. You don't want to have no spill. You don't want to create a mess, yo. It can happen as soon as 2 seconds. Anything could slip. It's over.
Yeah,
it's crazy though. I think
know
about
why
it every
everybody does
day.
And then the last one, just to wrap health tip up, I would say. Another question. Maybe y'all can answer this for me. You know, my scientific brother over here.
Mm-hmm.
Why is it that when you're in a dream and you that like piss in your dream, you know, like pissing on yourself?
Andrew Huberman is a psychologist. He was on Rogan podcast, but Rogan was canceled, semi-canceled, whatever. But he had a lot of insight on that. I think he's out of UCLA on sleep. I think it's Andrew Huberman.
That's a whole universe in itself, though. Isn't that crazy? Like sleep, like the whole like
look him up.
Science.
He talks about that. He really does talk about that. How the subconscious and conscious mind, and how that just that space, that meta space, because you're thinking and processing in real time. But you're just unconscious, but you're still conscious because you still feel what's happening outside. Like, I need the room to be silent. So when I'm hearing noises and stuff, it's like that plays a role in what's happening in my own mind as I'm unconscious. So like you said, you probably drunk some water, drunk whatever you're drinking in that cup right before you went to bed. Your body was already preparing to go to the bathroom. Mm-hmm. So when you're sleeping, you're conscious, you got all this thing happening. Next thing you know, you happen to slip into a dream
Everybody still wants to go.
that has something to do with you either being submerged in water or you are about to go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
And next thing you know, you have to be conscious enough to make that distinction. Like your body has to be mature enough. That's why folks expect you to stop peeing in the bed by like 10 at the latest, because your body should mature itself to this point to where when you're having a dream, you shouldn't go there.
That's crazy, right?
So you should, yeah.
But you do slip up sometimes because you feel it, you know. Sometimes my body jumps before it happens.
That was for the younger generation, not my age or anything like that.
No. But you made a good point. You made a good point, though.
It's definitely normal to his age. And then what I do is, that's why I always, like, most people say they can't really sleep with the TV on. Like you said, you need complete silence. But I want the TV on, so when those moments happens, or even like a out of body experience or anything like that, I can always hear the TV to really separate the reality from the dream. You get what I'm saying? So once I hear the TV, usually I can get myself out the dream, or if I gotta pee, then I'm like, oh shit, I gotta pee for real. And then I'll jump up and just, handle business. So yeah, that's all. So that's my little keys. 2 keys. I'm giving y'all some drip today. Come on, man.
Hey man, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
About sleep, man. This is some shit that was bugging me about the body. I just had to get out real quick. So
yeah, that's the part about being in tune.
yeah.
Mm-hmm. You talk about being in tune all the time. That's that part. That's where that meditation come in. That's when you're talking to yourself comes in. You being still, no distractions. You're making a connection with this vessel. Your spirit and your vessel are forming a bonding, an unbreakable bond. Mm-hmm. The spirit God gave you in this vessel that will deteriorate at some point. This body will fail you, so you better understand what it has to offer. For sure. You better figure out its limits, its potential. You know what I'm saying? Because folks, are born out here with bodies that they can't control. And they have to make adjustments for that because their spirit wants to actually be free of some of the things this body's keeping them from. So what they do is they practice, they prep, they go to therapy, and they better themselves. We're doing that in our own daily lives. Mm-hmm. Yo, we haven't even touched the topic, yo.
Let's go, man. Main course, man. I'm hungry. Let's go.
I'm hungry too, bro. Let's get it, man.
How about you, Porter? You haven't said much, man.
Let's eat.
Porter, you good?
Yeah.
Porter trying to figure out what's going on. You know what I'm saying? He like, okay, we had our Chick-fil-A this morning.
All right, bet.
Today's a little this morning's a little unusual.
Yeah,
He's soaking it in, bro.
I'm soaking it in.
Yeah. So we're gonna talk about the trials with triumph. And I try to reach out to these fellas individually to get their take on what I'm thinking in real time about the podcast. And I try to share with everybody as fast as I can. But at first we called this survivor's remorse. Mm-hmm. And then I was just like, I was telling the fellas, I was like, yo, like, first off, when I hear survivor's remorse, I think a lot about like guilt coming from the crib, like folks feel like they made it and they left people behind, something like that. I don't know. I wasn't quite like sure on it. I heard about the show Survivor's Remorse, you know what I'm saying, on Stars, whatever, but I had to look it up. And then survivor's remorse develops in people who have survived a life-threatening traumatic situation. Survivors feel guilty for surviving while others have perished. And namely, the example they will bring up is a war veteran who survived, any kind of attack from, opposition, whatever like that. And then they come back home and they lost some loved ones, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to the veterans, the lost veterans, their families, and the current veterans. Shout out to y'all. Sitting next to me, man, you know what I'm saying? Mike and Marlo.
I love the veteran.
So it's like, so I was like, survivor's remorse, does that really apply to us? Can we really delve deep into survivor's remorse?
Right.
Yeah.
Like, are we being authentic to the term, to the definition? I wanted to be authentic in that. And I was like, I don't really think so. So I started looking some stuff up. What is this feeling we do feel, though, whenever we are successful and whenever we do feel like we make it out of some form of traumatic situation? Now, for us as being black, young black men, we majority grow up in low income, working class families. We're burning that bridge. We're definitely burning that bridge, especially between the millennial generation and Gen X, where there's a uprising of middle class black folk. There's not many underclass, working class. There's a lot in the unemployment who happen to be coming from a low income, low paying job, whatever like that. But we're making some strides in that area of whatever middle class it is. That term middle class still hasn't really been defined or statistically proven and aligned to the definition. So when people talk about the middle class, they always have question marks and have, quotations around it. Because is there any real middle class, or is it just a, super elite upper class? And then there's the bottom half splitting the last 20% of the pie. So anyway, I was thinking about success guilt. And it's similar to survivor's remorse because it reverts to the belief that faith has treated you better than others in life, or that your favorable treatment was at someone else's expense. So if we all came from a Title I school, we came from our high school, Clayton County, and they lost its accreditation at one point. So they really was on the rocks. It was on the skids, And many of us came from, working class, lower middle class families, majority black. And though it was diverse, we had a good Latino population, Asian population, you know what I'm saying? We had very low percentage, under 5% of white, but when they saw them, I didn't hear them being, feeling like they were not a part of the community.
Right.
So, but all of us come from lower class, working class, lower middle class. So when we make it, when we actually go to college, we get those scholarships. It looks like a success, looks like a win for the community. And many of us are first generation. So our parents never went to college, never completed it. So we really are leading this path. And so with that, you want everybody to sort of come with you, especially the friends that you grew accustomed to when you was in school. It's natural. This is your community. And everybody had held up that college was the option, but that was the route to go in order for you to be successful. It's been instilled in black thought and black culture for decades. Go to school to better yourself. So then when we went on to graduate high school and go on to college, we really was trying to be on this success track. And people went through a thing called life after graduation. People have died, those that were in our class or those who were in our class, but after we graduated, folks who had children, whether it was in their control or not. People had got married, people had dropped out of college. We started to lose contact with these people as we continue to ascend in this building that's supposed to guide us to success. But we also want everybody to eat too. We still have compassion for everybody else too. So I thought about success guilt. Okay. And the last term was the black tax. So now that you're successful, you have this extra money, this time and resources that was ever afforded to you or members in your community. So what you do to that community that you love so much is you give your time, your money, and your resources to your friends, your family, and your extended family. That's the black tax, which is another thing that is crippling the emerging, first generation wealth of students and people in the population. Mm-hmm. Because if they know they're on that success track and they're actually meeting these milestones, it too. Mom, dad, cousin, friends, everybody see what's happening. You're succeeding in real time with witnesses. And they love you and they care for you and they help nurture you, and you did the same for them. So you give your time, your money, your resources, if you can, to help them empower themselves so they can become successful. But it comes at a cost. Literally, the black tax is keeping many of us from actually achieving wealth. Because so many of us do not have it, we give it to those without. And usually it's people who's in our own community, family, usually. So we're going to talk about the trials with triumph. Whether it be survivor's remorse, success guilt, and the black tax.
Mm-hmm.
So fellas,
let's get it.
Prior to this discussion, what was your knowledge of these terms? And I'm gonna have to continue to repeat it because it's a lot of terms, right? The black tax, success guilt, and survivor's remorse. Before we have this conversation, like, what was your thought about it? Like, how did you encounter it? Have you ever heard of these terms applied, things of that nature? Like, how did you learn of like these concepts that are like more psychological than anything? How did y'all hear about this?
Well, I knew about survivor remorse because I'm a veteran, of course. So that always was something throughout our whole process of basic to everybody, war stories and deployments and stuff like that. So we always heard about survivor remorse, which most times equal PTSD for most veterans. I didn't know the true term of black tax, but I knew in the sense the meaning of it. You get what I'm saying? So I knew what it was, the mindset, the giving to the family, but I didn't have a word for it. You know what I'm saying? And I would say success guilt is something that I'm pretty sure we all felt in some shape or form naturally as we, like you said, started from the low income and we're building our way up the success ladder. And you got your friends that you might have left behind and everybody go their separate paths, but through any conditions or environments that you went through, we always seems to succeed and can keep going up. And most people get stopped, like you said, baby, pass away, or just hit different roads and triumphs in their life. So I knew about success guilt, but black tax, I just couldn't put a word on the explanation.
Yeah, I think for me, I've always internalized those terms before I knew what the terms were. I think that I've always felt as if I've been experiencing some form of post-traumatic success disorder, where it's as if my success is owed to the people. And what I mean by that is, like, every time I accomplish something, I intimately feel tied to having to almost divest myself of my time, my energy, my resources to see somebody else be put in the same position or in a like position like I am. And I can overextend myself because I want so bad for the other person to be successful. Bless you. And I think that that's something that I've always wrestled with, trying to reconcile what is enough, or if what I'm doing is enough to help this person, or do they see how much I'm willing to sacrifice of myself to see them win. And I think I've been that way because that's always what I wanted. I used to always say, I wanted to go to a private school. I wanted to be afforded the opportunity to really be challenged, amongst my peers, and to have the opportunity to have my education paid for and to not have to take out student loans and the like. And it was only once I started working at the firm when I was in Silicon Valley, and I'm talking to my colleagues and I'm seeing that, for us, when we're thinking about success, we're thinking about graduating. And for them, when they're thinking about success and they've made it, they're not looking at, oh, I got to go make sure my mama's straight. They're looking at, I just got to make myself straight because mom is already straight. So it's like a different reality that's happening at the same time.
That's why the second generation. That's why the second generation kids tend to do better, because they already have the foundation. They already have the financial foundation. You already have the spiritual and mental foundation, to where all they have to do is focus on themselves. That's why those kids always tend to be classified as spoiled or entitled, because they have all this time to themselves.
Right.
They don't have to think about what mom and dad are struggling with or doing. They know that everything's fine, so they can live their life. That's why they tend to be a little more self-absorbed, because they left to themselves a little bit more.
Right.
They hang out with their friends more. They take more risks because they know they have a net to fall on. That's what I learned from the Steve Harvey interview.
Right.
That's what he said. It's hard for them to try to figure out with their own kids. It's like, yo, like, how do I handle like preparing you, but also not spoon feeding you? But like you said, that's a different mindset compared to you being the one having to fend for yourself and be successful, and also take care of the ones who are also struggling and trying to figure out for themselves too. Like it's a tough game to play.
Indeed.
Like you speaking, man.
Yeah, man.
That's real.
Yeah, and so I mean, when I think about the black tax concept, number one, I think it is important to an extent to where we as a collective group of people have to be willing to contribute and give back to those that have the mindset like us that want to be better. And then I also think about the fact that so often we give so much back of ourselves to where, to be honest, sometimes you can get shitted on in the process. Mm-hmm. Right? Like you give, it's like you give, it's been situations where, you know, I've given money, you know, I've given so much of my time, I've given so much of my energy, and it's not that I want to reciprocate it, but it's like, okay, is the person that I'm investing in, or the group that I'm invested in, or the collective that I'm invested in, they're going to continue on, going back to the legacy concept. And what I've realized, going back to the self-absorbed, is like, you'll notice that their mindset isn't even the same. So how is it that we're going to continue to be productive collectively as a people when everybody starts to get to a place where they're just looking out for themselves with no regard for the people that came before or after them? And I still to this day, I remember having conversations with my grandmother and my grandfather, and I would tell my grandmother all the time before she passed, I was like, I'm going to take care of you. I'm going to take care of you. And like,
do you ever like you're racing against time?
I did. Yes.
We're going to get to that. That's a question I got.
Yeah.
That's a question I definitely have when we break down success.
Yeah, for sure.
Do you feel like you're racing against, like, yo, we got to let Mike go? You know, but it's like, I'm just saying, I'm like, yo, like we all three of us going, yo, like,
no, I'm vibing. I'm straight.
Yo. But I think about that. That's why I'm so hyped for this episode, and legacy is gonna be crazy. This episode already feels crazy in and of itself, because we're getting at something here. We're actually decoding something that is elusive as hell of a villain out here that's lurking within the black community, because we are black here, so we identify within our space.
Right.
But this has it's that cruel, evil, spiritual villain that's just lurking in the space. You know what I'm saying? We say it's the man. We say it's the system.
Right.
It's parts of it. The historical landscape is there. Yes. Right. The foundationally, yes. But that's real, what you just said.
Yeah. I mean, part of me sometimes feel like I wasn't, or that I haven't become successful fast enough.
Oh man.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like, and so like when I was like thinking about my grandma, you know,
that's real talk.
And
we was talking about,
you know, it's kind of crazy, because before my grandmother passed, you know, she was like, baby, I'm getting tired. And I could see it, right? Like, I could see it. Like, before I went to California, like, I could see her being tired, right? And I remember I was like, something is telling me I need to go ahead and just deal with her funeral arrangements, her life insurance. Like, I cannot explain it, but literally, like, I made it my priority within that week before I left for Cali to deal with all of her stuff. And a couple months later, she transitioned. And everything was already in place. But I don't know what that was that was telling me to do that. Because everybody was like, you know what I mean? Like, why you worried about this right now? Like, grandma's gonna be around, granddad's gonna be around. And in less than a year, both of them transitioned. And so I felt like I wasn't successful enough to sustain the medical and the other things. And both my dad and I, we both dealt with this, because they were both living with my dad. My dad was taking care of them, and I was helping out where I could. And we both felt like we're not doing enough, even though we're doing as much as we can. So even when you talk about like the success, it's like, okay, we're considered successful because we're making some money now. We graduated now, but the success is still not enough. And I'm racing against time. And then I'm looking at myself like, damn, am I enough? Was I supposed to become, you know, more at an earlier point? And so then now my grandmother's she's no longer here, and I'm sitting here and I'm just like, damn, I said I was going to take care of you, and I feel like I ain't get, you know what I mean? So it's like, you know what I'm saying? I feel like I didn't get
So
a chance
at
to
some
get
point in
that.
this episode, I'm gonna cry, yo.
Yeah.
So like
I'm dead ass, yo.
So like
I'm serious, yo, because that's real, man. I think about that all the time.
right. So like
Am I crazy for saying that though?
like back to your explanation, right? And you saying you was feeling like your dad was basically grinding it out to handle the business, and then you stated it wasn't enough, right? So what do you mean by it wasn't enough? Because I feel like it's just like it's cool, like it's your grandma, everything like that, but within preparation, I feel like within the process, we always kind of fall short due to the lack of knowledge.
Yeah.
So technically speaking, like prior to you, your dad should already had that done way before. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then he could have personally already allotted like a life insurance amount to really cover mom and dad. But due to the short time and it just like, so I'm pretty sure he didn't really start hopping on the ball until you added pressure to the situation when you have like your epiphany and whatnot.
Well, it was a complicated situation because it's like my grandfather. Quick brief history. So my side of the family comes from Albany, Georgia. My great grandfather built the first house in the late early 1900s and brick masons. So like a family of brick masons. And so my grandfather used to always work, right? Like he is the pinnacle of what I look at as success for a man in terms of all his kids came from one woman. He was married. He was committed to getting up at 4 in the morning, going to construction sites. I never heard him complain one time. Not one time, oh, I'm having a bad day. Oh, I'm tired. Oh, I'm raining. Oh, it's cold. Every single day I would see my grandfather get up, and then I saw the same thing with my father. Never heard them complain, not one time. So that's why I got adopted the same mindset, right? So it's the way that the situation happened is like all of a sudden the body breaks down, right? So like my grandfather has been working and it killed him when he couldn't work because that was his way of producing, going back to the manhood, the fatherhood concept. He was able to take care of the household. But then at some point, you become, almost 70 years old. The body, you're not able to do the same things like how you used to do. Here come 3 strokes, back to back, back to back, back to back. So now you have 3 strokes. You can barely move. You can barely move around. So then now here comes the added financial pressure that my dad has to come and take care of the whole entire household now. He's ready for it. He's been prepared for it. Like, because my dad, he's seeing this already. Cause he's seeing that my grandfather's, you kind of see it when your father is like that transition, right? Like he kind of started moving a little bit slower but the father, we still got that pride. We still trying to do as much as we can on our own. Right. And so then all of a sudden, now my father has to step in, take care of the household, move them and, take care of the bills. So there was some things that were in place, but then it was like, okay, what about these other things if they do transition, and like I said, I didn't really know, I don't really know much. I'm young. I'm not really thinking about this, but at the same vein, it's like I'm looking at them and you can see them fading. Mm-hmm. And I think that was the hardest thing for me because I could see them fading, but I felt like I could save them a little bit longer if I would have had more money.
Exactly.
If I could have paid for better doctors,
or if you just had like
more insight.
Just
had more insight.
If I would have had some more insight, maybe it was something that I could have did to keep my grandmother here a little bit longer. And it's like they looking at me, they like, oh, we so happy, you going to Howard and you're getting your law, da da da. And I'm looking at them and I'm like, damn, I still can't help. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like I'm looking at them and I'm like, okay, I got this information, but it's like, it's not the information that I need right now to help me help you. You know what I'm saying?
And that's what's crazy. As soon as they transition, within the next 6 months, you found all the information you need to find out.
Yes.
Same thing happened to my grandparents, bro.
What?
Yes.
Same exact thing, bro.
You said.
So it's like, So it's like, okay, we took care of what, paperwork, this, that, and the third. But it's like, once everything happened, it was like you found yourself coming into contact with like the information. Like it's just like, it's kind of weird how it works where you can be prepping for something, and then it's like something else happens, and then you start trying, and like the situation passes, and then now it becomes like a regular occurrence of you encountering whatever. And I don't know what that is. I think that's like
that shit happened to me.
Yeah. Sure. So to answer your question, it was like Pops was literally taking care of everybody. You know what I'm saying? Like he goes from having to just worry about like him, my little brother, Malik, and then now it's like, okay, I got you, I got grandma, I got granddad, I got my sisters. So that's, you know what I'm saying? That's a lot. But not once did I ever hear my father complain. Not one, not you know what I'm saying? Not once did I ever see my father say, damn, man, I'm tired of this. Man, I got to take care of this, and this. I've never seen it. So that's why when I be looking at myself as a measure of man, getting into like survivor's remorse, I be like, bro, I can't complain. Like no matter what the situation is, like, oh, I get behind on rent, or I gotta come up with, such for the retail store. Like I be looking, I'm like, yo, I can't complain. I gotta figure it out. Cause I saw my father, I saw my grandfather literally not complain, not one time. And I know that they felt like, damn, I ain't got nobody I can call when I'm short on something. Right. But when I'm short on something, I can call Pops. Right. Like that. And that right there kind of stuck with me. And that's where, like I said, I still be feeling that guilt sometimes, where it's like I felt like I wasn't in position, and that's why I be pushing so hard, because I was like, damn, like I wish I could have been in position, so I could have
saved the day, bro.
You know what I'm saying? Sure. So yeah, bro. Let's go. Let's transition. What's next? Yeah, what's next?
Mike, what's your thoughts? You didn't say,
bro. Listen, I don't need to say anything, bro. All that was amazing. I was listening. Yeah. So I tell the next question, man. I love you, bro. That's some real shit.
Well, we already answered one and two, bro.
Yeah, it's good for sure.
Exactly. Have you ever, or you still feel like you're paying the black tax? Like now we're having a conversation about the black tax. Porter, you was getting in it. That's why I was feeling like we sort of kind of covered the first three. Mm-hmm. Because you're talking about, that's how I'm saying how success guilt bleeds into black tax, because you feel like you're racing against time. You give more of your time, you give more of your resources, you give more of your money as a stopgap until you finally hit and whatever you was banking on in whatever industry and career piece, you're still supplementing some of that extra time you have to spare to your family, to your friends, to your close ones. So in a sense, you're still paying the black tax, but I guess you talked about how you first encountered the black tax, essentially. Mm-hmm. Now, so like, how are you managing it now? Like, you're paying it, still. Yeah. So how are you managing? That's for everybody to share. Like, what's your black tax account looking like?
I mean, I feel like when it comes to the black tax, I don't know, y'all. I feel like I don't mind that. Like, that should be what you should want to do. Like, if we're talking about the definition, right? The extra money, time, and resources that black professionals are expected to give to support their less fortunate family and extended families. Yeah, nigga, you made it. Mm-hmm. Hell, nigga. Like, I'm just saying, like, for real. Like,
but you see how we get in trouble.
No. But I see the issue is not necessarily, like, to me, the black tax. The issue is the plan, the self love we was talking about, like, right. Before in pre-production. Don't know why we didn't take this shit. We were talking about giving out money, don't give out money that you don't expect back, right?
All right.
I don't know, bro. I just kind of feel like you just gotta be better prepared. Like when it comes to that, like, yo, yes, you can't overextend yourself. Like don't like if you don't have it, don't give it. I understand that that's the person that you love, you care about, whatever, bro. Like take care of yourself first, because once you take care of yourself first, financially, emotionally, spiritually, right, then you're able to help other people. So it's like always make sure, like, I just feel like it's a mindset thing when it comes to the black tax thing. It's just like, yeah, like you're supposed to give back, like you're supposed to put people on, like. Yeah, you just gotta do it. You just gotta move more methodical, a lot smarter.
It's more like a business model.
Yeah, it's just like we were talking about people, paying for your family's expenses, right? The athletes, they gotta pay for all their family to live and all this stuff. Yeah. Do it smart. Make sure you can write stuff off. Make sure you can make sure it benefits you as well.
Right.
Like, I ain't saying you trying to like leech, like do something crazy, but like, hey, like I'm helping you, bro, but help me too. Like,
For sure.
I got an apartment complex. Y'all can live in there for half the rent.
All right.
Okay, cool. I'm helping you, but I'm also making sure I'm taking care of myself. Like, just move smarter when it comes to that. But like, I mean, shit, I'm proud of that shit, bro. Like, I mean, shit, you got a mentee. You know what I'm saying? Like, you. I feel like you living up to that. You giving back, right? Like, you all the knowledge that you learned, everything, all the mistakes that you made, stuff like that. I feel like black tax is a good thing, but we just got to move smarter.
Mm-hmm.
That's all.
Sure.
So do you think that if you're giving something when you don't have it, right? Or you're giving something, you have it, but you're likely need it back. We kind of touched on this a little bit. Does that mean that you may not really love yourself? Because it's like, everybody talks about the concept of self-love and self-preservation. We talked about that, right? Self-preservation, number one rule of the land. And I get that. But it's like, when you see somebody else need it and you see that they need it, it's like, you need it too.
Okay.
And then you give that to them, right? Does that mean that you're dealing with potentially a situation where you may not love yourself as much?
I don't think so. I just think that's just an emotional thing. Like, like you love, bro. Like, the shit it makes, what love make people do, bro. Whether that's love for a friend, family member, significant other, lady friends. I just feel like, I don't know. I just feel like I don't feel like you love yourself less. I just feel like you just have to be mentally strong to be cool with the shit not working out. I mean, honestly, that's really what it is.
But why take the risk?
You take risks every day, bro. Life is a risk.
That's a controllable risk,
bro. When you, so is that. It's controllable to what? What are we talking about?
I'm not giving you the bread.
You can limit yourself. Like, you still add limitations, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's still loving yourself.
Yeah, I'm not saying like the black tax is a risk. I'm just talking about the specific example when he said, if you need it, what was your...
Oh, you saying like basically like rent due in 3 days.
Yeah.
If you give it to me in 2 days, I'll be straight.
Right.
Okay, so in that, you just have, bro, like, you take risks, bro.
So what would you do?
Okay,
would you give him him or her the $1,400 knowing that your rent is due? When was your rent due?
It was like, let's say the first.
Yeah. Rent due in 4 to 5 days, bro.
And you get, let's say you get somebody like, let's say $1,500.
I mean, I would tell you like straight up, bro, like, if y'all ask me for $1,500, bro, y'all tell me y'all to give it back to me in 2 days, I'll give y'all $1,500.
And rent is due.
Yes.
And you only got 16 for the rent. And that's all you got.
But that's me, my calculated risk of trust that I have in y'all.
Okay.
So I'm gonna put that out there on the line. So hopefully it's gonna pay off. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm expecting to, but I have to be comfortable with it not. Like, even though I might need it, that's just gonna be something that I'm gonna have to take that L on. Like, everybody, bro, we all take calculated L's, bro. Like, where's like, all right, bro, like
calculated L's. No, I like that.
Calculated L's, bro. Like, like, okay, if I don't answer, my girl's call, but I'm doing something. You know what I'm saying? Like,
no, that's true.
Calculated risk, like,
is it?
All right, she gonna be mad, but she get over it, type shit. Like, that's calculated
true.
L.
That's true. That was good.
Just by example though, but like I said,
like, not getting that bread from me, bro.
I mean, well, I'm not saying about. It's all about being comfortable with that.
Getting that.
I said it one time in pre-production. No.
You're not getting it.
Stop playing with yourself. You're playing with your own emotions and energy.
Yeah, that shit's not.
You're wasting energy. I told you.
But it's saying like it's just, to me, it's not even like a wasting.
Why haven't you flipped the question and say, how soon do you need it?
What you mean?
Why don't you take care of yourself first and see how fast you can recoup that, and see in the meantime, and then you can give it when you straight.
Like, well, I'm not. This is what I'm saying. Like,
if they still need it, but you have to protect self first. That's what I'm saying.
You do, but sometimes you gotta.
So when you have a family, are you saying that you still have to protect self first? Like, this is what I'm getting at, right? Because we go back to fatherhood and manhood, right? You're a father now, right? Is it still protect first? Is it still like, what is it about you that comes first still? right? Like, what is it? Like, do you still
mentally, bro? Like, I mean, you make time for yourself, like,
right?
Like, even in a partnership, like, you know, obviously I'm married, right? Like, I have to know, like, you know, I gotta look out for me, like, because if I look out for me on a lot of things, it's gonna make us better. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And when I say that, I'm not trying to say it in the selfish standpoint where it's like, you know, I'm not gonna ever give her no my time, and like, bro, she would, you know, I wouldn't be married long. You feel me? But right. I'm saying, like, you got to make sure, like, you put yourself first in the sense, it's like, okay, like, damn, like, easy shit. Like, do I really want to do this, or am I just saying yes because she wants me to do it? Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I don't know if you ever ran into a situation like that where it's like, it's normal shit, where it's like, damn. And then when you finally speak up or say no, you know, like, you ever like hold some shit in, it's like, damn, you felt like this the whole time? It's like, yeah, I did, but you know, because you my girl or whatever, like, no, like.
But
yeah,
again,
I stopped that shit too.
But because you conserved your energy, when you say no and you get backlash, you have enough energy in the tank to withstand that. Mm-hmm. But you keep saying yes, you're giving away a lot of energy because you're giving away anxiety attached to something as close to, I got rent due in 3 days, I hope they come through.
For sure. Which goes back to the like when we were talking about the black tax. Like, you got to be smart with that shit. Like, black tax. At the end of the day, yeah, nigga, that's not a smart risk. Like,
we talked about Antoine Walker, right? You know what I'm saying? Very successful, and a lot of successful entertainers, and they want everybody to come with them, right? So we looking at a black tax. He's like, I want everybody to win, right? Like, I want the whole family to win. Build your house up. Get this, you get that. And it's like, at what point are we putting the cap and saying, all right? And that's why I think I agree with what everybody is saying, because it's like, at some point you gotta be like, nah, man, come on.
And you gotta be comfortable cutting people off too, bro. Like, no cap. Like, you gotta be comfortable with that. Like, hey, like,
that's true.
Like, nah, like, I'm not. You're mad at me because, you know, like you said, like, you're upset with me because I couldn't give you no bread, bro. Like,
now, what was it? I think it was a clip that I saw of a Meek Mill. He was talking about, like, one of his friends got mad when he didn't let them drive the car, and he was like, I don't remember exactly what it was. Yeah. He was like, yeah, you want to drive a $40,000-$50,000 vehicle and you ain't even got 8,000. Like, he was like, it just, you know, it just.
He was like, you ain't got. It was. He was calculating his risk. Like, damn, I let bro
borrow a car. Yeah,
he not going to even pay. He won't even be able to pay the deductible.
You know,
you know what I'm saying? Like, the Phantom truck is different.
Yeah, the Phantom truck is different. Yeah.
Like, there's some rides out there that are $500,000, $250,000. Yeah. Some of these guys are leasing it. They don't own it outright. So it's like, you taking risk against that. The liability insurance, stuff like that.
Just because you want to ride around the corner.
Right.
And be mad.
You want to be Tokyo Drift in traffic. What sense does that make?
Take your ass to the go kart.
we all got the questions in our hands right now. Mm-hmm. And Mike just said the hot question really does go crazy, because it's that whole point about success guilt. Mm-hmm. It's like, do you feel like your survival is contingent upon your success? Like, if I don't find my purpose, if I don't start making shit shake and connecting some dots, I'm a lame duck out here. I'm a black man. So I'm a lame duck out here. I am a potential victim of the streets. I'm a potential predator of the streets. I have to cut corners. I may have to tell a few more lies than I wanted to. I may have to make a lot more sacrifices if I do not figure it out. I'm going to really put myself at risk. So I need to start making some good decisions, consistent decisions, not waste my energy, and become successful. And be legitimate. Go legit. Even dope boys say eventually they need to go legit. Mm-hmm. Be legal. Everybody's trying to do that. They're trying to create sustainable generational wealth. So when you don't succeed, you feel like, damn. Or when you take that L, you feel like, damn, like, am I getting closer to my immortality in some way? And you're racing against time because you feel like you have the potential to become something now. You do feel like you can break the bank and become the best of whoever you are, the top 1% of whatever class or industry you in. You do feel like you got that potential, but you're racing against time because you got people you're trying to feed and support and people you want to continue to invest in you.
Bro, you know.
So when you don't succeed, you feel like, damn, like how do people look at me? Like, what's my value in life? You feel that. When you take losses, even though you bounce back, because we all here today. You know what I'm saying? We kept bouncing back and we made it work to continue to succeed and persevere. But those losses, those rejections, those setbacks, you do feel that. You do take a hit from that. And then you couple that with what's happening in the news and how our mortality is always in question. Mm-hmm. And what's going on in your own respective community, the tension you may have in your own family, whether you see it coming or not. You have all these other things that are tethered to your success and the good, strong, and pertinent choices you make to get there. So when I say that, I ask that question of like, do you ever feel like your success is tied to your like survival or your mortality in some sense? Do you? And like let's continue to break that down. We've been talking about this whole time, but let's just get right at it. Let's talk right about success aligned with death and that flirtatious game you play in your mind because of the system you're in. That's what we was getting at a little bit, being a black man in America. That's what we get at about coming from low income, lower middle class households. And you have to make gambling decisions about, can you make these solid choices in whatever area it is? Because it's not always going to be money related. Like, I felt like me becoming a sociologist was dumb. I don't see quarter million a year sociologists unless they OGO. Yeah. They've written a billion papers, or they was happen to be in the right place at the right time due to social nepotism and their race and their gender, a white man. So here I go tiptoeing in this, talking about some real shit from my research, and we have a growing culture, but unless you're working at an Ivy League, which has its own conflicts in politics with being black, and you're already a minority in that space, how much can you really keep it real and make good money keeping it real? There's so many different ways we can do it, but all we see is music, entertainment, sports. That's why everybody in mama's trying to be a rapper or producer right now, because like, okay, if this song hit, I'm gone. I can make money. I can now be sustainable. If I do that in the shortest amount of time. I'm a sociologist, man. I study history and social world phenomena, bro. Like, it ain't fire like that. No one's like in high demand willing to pay that shit. You know? So it's like, bro, like, is this going to help me take care of my family? I got to figure that out. I got to find other lanes and channels to get there, because this level of success, this track of success doesn't feel sustainable to my actual survival, my spiritual survival too. Because there's a lot of people out there who are spiritually dead, who are just walking around like zombies, going through their day to day every single day, waiting for it to end, because I don't want to be that.
Drifters.
Oh yeah, Outwitting the Devil. That's a great book. So my success to me is sort of aligned to like more mortality. Like if I make good decisions here to protect my own investment of self-care, I can avoid the Grim Reaper. I can avoid being in communities I'm not supposed to be in. I can avoid, but I also got to try to sustain generational wealth. How do I do that in sectors that are not in necessarily high demand or hot? You know what I'm saying? I can't make a mixtape, the next thing you know it's fire over sociology shit. Like that's what I'm saying. Like that's what Elijah was saying earlier about, damn, like, did I make the right choice about going down this career path? Did I make the right choice going, you know what I'm saying, of what I'm studying? Like, I'm like, damn, like I want to feel valued in this life, but it doesn't feel like that because the situation, the position I was set in to start put me at a deficit. So I got to climb out of that, break even, and then make profit on it.
Right.
All in a time in which my mortality is always hovering over me because I'm a fucking black man. That's just crazy. It always gets back to race.
I like that concept. That buy it, break even, and then try to make a profit. Like that's
because we come at a deficit.
That's really where we at.
I like that.
And you have to break even and then
make money. Yeah. I mean, sheesh. I think that also goes back to like, what's your definition of success? You know, like everybody has a different definition. Like, you know, I know my definition is, right. You know, I like to attach success sometimes to monetary value, for sure. You know, I'm a bougie man. All right. I like nice shit. All right. So if all the nice shit that I want costs a lot of money, so I need to make a lot of money. You know, that's my definition of success. But somebody else's definition is just like, I just want a job that can, you know, help me retire and I can take care of my immediate family type shit. Like, you know, you get back to that not selfish mindset. That's a bad word.
So self-preservation.
Self-preservation type mindset. You know, it's like, you know, worry about here, but that right there, man, is like, I mean, for me, I do have that pressure. Like my dad always told me when I was younger, like, you're gonna be the one to take care of the whole family. Like, you got, you know, I'm my dad's first born son. I'm a junior. You know what I'm saying? So I already get those attached to me already before I even got the womb. Like that expectation that I feel like I gotta meet now. You know, and it's crazy. Don't you think that's crazy? That that's like the type of pressure we have to have right now. Like as just, I guess not even gonna say kids, but just in general, like we all like. I don't think there's not one person's like, you know what? I gotta take care of my whole family.
It's not like that.
I don't feel like it's not. I feel like everybody in our community thinks like that. Like if I make it, if I pop, you know what I'm saying, I gotta take care of everybody. Versus the mindset you were talking about, where it's like that's already taken care of. So like I'm focused on, I can put my energy in all these other different realms, and they're fearless. You know what I'm saying? Like shit like that. Like that's why when people used to ask me about, I think you said something earlier, Jalen, about going back to race, was like I would say like the difference between the cultures, like a black person and a white person, right? Like, you know, we see the cops, you know, we're always told what? Oh, say yes, sir, no, sir, da, 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 right? But then on the opposite culture, it's just like, say what the fuck I want to say. Like, nah, like, you're not going to talk to me. You know what I'm saying? I know the law. Like, you got to talk to me crazy. Like, what's wrong with you, bro?
Yeah.
Like, don't let this man talk to you like that. But like, you know, like you said, we have that mortality hanging over us. Like, damn, like.
Yeah, I think success is intimately tied to purpose for me. And
for sure.
When I think about Les Brown had this speech. I used to always listen to it.
Love Les Brown.
Yeah, I used to always listen to it a couple years ago, and he said, "There's a man dying on his deathbed, and around him are the ghosts of everything that he was supposed to become." And it's like, damn. So you see everything that you thought about, that you imagined, right? Because anything that you've imagined, that was God's revealing to you that it's possible, right? And so everything that you imagine is around you, and you see it. Man, I could have been a doctor. I could have been an engineer. I could have been XYZ. I was supposed to be an artist. You see all these different things. And I came across something the other day, and it was like the number one regret of most people is that by the time they die, they realize that they were concerned too much with the opinions of others. And so when I'm thinking about like my own success and my purpose, sometimes that can get weighing down because you're thinking, I'm a lawyer, but what if I decide to be an actor? What if what if that's something that may be intuitive or internal for me, and I'm going to take that route, but now based on where I am in life, based on what people perceive me as, I have sort of had to play into this box of this concept. And I remember dealing with that maybe like 4 or 5 years ago, where it was like people would have this preconceived notion of me. And I'm like, I'm so much more than these limitations that you tried to put on me. And then I found myself like fighting. And so it made me start understanding, because we see artists, we see certain people like, and you'll see them, people will say that they're like self-destructing before our very eyes, which in actuality, it could be them trying to evolve or be something, and they feel like all their fans or everybody that's watching them wants them to be just this one way. We've got trapped in a limitation on what that person is. And so we've confined them to a space when they're trying to escape. So then now they're trapped in their own success. But their success is no longer attached to their purpose, because their purpose is to be more than what that is. So even when you think about a Kanye, whatever the situation may be, right? Like it's like you like me when I was this, but it's more to me than just that. I get that you like that. That's cool. You know,
he was acting.
Yeah, like it's like that. That's cool, but like I'm more than that. So when I say, so what I'm saying is that when I think about my own personal success and tying it to my purpose and trying to evolve, I oftentimes am wrestling with making sure that I don't get too confined in what somebody. Okay, I do hold a company, do trademarks, I do copyright, so all those things are great. But I'm a chill ass person too, man. You know what I mean? Like I'm humorous. I'm funny. Like I ain't just so like don't try to do this. Like they
love doing that to us.
And they love doing that. Oh, you must be bro. Like no, I'm not. I'm multi. I'm diverse. And so it's like I'm fighting against that. So to answer that question, I just think that it's like really my success is tied to just becoming like not only that best version, but like whatever that thing is that I'm, because when you're in tune, you feel that. And I know a lot of my colleagues, like some that are at firms, whatever, and it's like they're doing this as a trade, but it's like that ain't me though. Right. Like I really want to go over here and become this, but I'm limited to this right now because I have to get out the hole. I got to pay back that student loan debt and go from there. So.
Get that on the point, bro.
Yeah.
We definitely went over in this episode. We went over in this episode. I love it too, man. It's like I want to continue to go on this, but I don't know how we're gonna wrap that up, man. I think Porter, man, it's like you hit it, man. I guess the question is, I agree with you on so many points. That's why I was saying earlier about like, that's why it was a risk in and of itself, me sitting here at this table as a podcaster and a sociologist, because there's no one else doing this. Mm-hmm. We talk about this in pre-production. Mm-hmm. You got to show up to work buttoned up. You talk your shit on Instagram and Twitter. Mm-hmm. That's the place where Black professionals go. Mm-hmm. We pop our shit on social media. We go out. We find ways of gratification. We find ways to exert some of that energy that we have pinned up in us as we're trying to become involving figures in our own respective lives. And we no longer want to be tethered to this one purpose that once was a purpose. Right. You becoming a lawyer was once a purpose. It's still a purpose. It's still a part of you. That's the part of what you were saying with the Kanye example. He will always be a producer first. No matter how much he talks about, I'm a rapper. His production led him there. Right. He will always be a producer first. He still produces, but he knows that he's a rapper. He also knows that he loves fashion. He also knows that he wants to be his own man. He also knows he wants to continue to evolve creatively. You have to respect all of those facets of my being and stop falsely attaching psychological disorders to it. Mm-hmm. Give me my space and watch me work. Give me my space and watch me work. And every time I do, that's why people say, I can't wait for Kanye to go in isolation. Because when he starts cooking, he coming with something. Right. Just let him do that his whole life and watch all the other things he can do when you leave him the fuck alone. And we leave other people alone. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not absolving Kanye, but I've understood many points about him watching the documentary. Mm-hmm. There's some things he's done that's foul, that's a little egotistical, that's narcissistic. Yes, cool. But I'm understanding certain points through him because he's one of the few Black men I've ever seen in my life who's able to express himself on all levels at any given time and still crank out his best. He showcases his genius and then he goes off about real shit. That's why Black people never held it against him when he went on stage when next to Michael Myers and he was all like, yo, George Bush don't care about Black people. He said some real shit for Black people. Because we've been waiting for all the Black leaders before us to just keep it real. But they kill those Black men. They kill those Black men who ever keep it real. So it got niggas like us silent and questioning how we express ourselves and be versatile to get our own true message out. Because God sent us here for a reason.
Isn't that crazy how they do that though? Like they'll label you crazy or whatever just for expressing how you feel, or even just like exposing the truth. Right. Like I look at like Louis Farrakhan. Like I don't know if you ever like watched him. Of course. Like a very very intelligent brother. Like, and they call him a radical. Like, and I'd be like.
Right. But the thing is, if you're a goof, if you're disrespectful, you clout chasing, we expose that and we do expose you. Right. Mm-hmm. But if you keep it real and you authentic and you genuine and you respectful,
I'm jealous of that.
You respectful, you punctual, you cordial. He clean too. That man 80-something years old.
And still.
Come on, man. His hair still laid, bro.
Hair still laid.
The stuff like this army, look at his team, look at his wife, man. Over 50 years, man. He keep that shit real. He admits when he's wrong, but he goes back in the lab and he betters himself and he comes back out. Like it's like that's what you do. You continuously evolve, bro. Mm-hmm. Shit. Like even though we gotta wrap this up, but there was a part where y'all seen the Biggie movie years ago that came out, right?
Mm-hmm. Trash.
right? But there was a part in there. There was a part in there where Derek Luke was playing Puff, whatever. He was playing Puff Daddy, and he kept saying this line whenever Biggie was going through shit. He was all like, "What don't break a nigga, make a nigga." Like he said that like a couple times in the movie, and I was like, "That shit real." Like you're gonna go through adversity, but it's like who you are when you as a man. How you define yourself as a man is when you go through adversity and how you manage that, how you adapt to that, how you rise up to that occasion, right, and not succumb to it. Right. We have to go against that, against our, imminent mortality, because we don't know when our time is going to expire, and against all these other deficits that put us here. The trials with triumph is this topic, yo, and this is the seventh. This is the seventh episode. I knew this episode was going to be different. Man. But fellas, man, honesty on the table, yo. Honesty on the table like that, yo.
Honesty on the table.
Man, I wish this was like 3 hours.
Yeah,